Hey guys, what if I tell you that you can turn your 9 US dollars into 250 or 2000 US dollars and sometimes even more? So that's exactly what I'm going to share in this video. How to make money selling domain names, and I'll show you some proof of my earnings as well in flipping domains. So ironically, the biggest sale that I have is 2000 US dollars for a domain name just June this year. I was using it for my personal site, so I had no intention of selling it, but out of nowhere, an email with an offer came in. It was huge, I had to consider, so we did negotiations until we agreed on the price of 2000 US dollars. I only paid exactly 14.22 US dollars for that name. So in November 2018, I paid $1 plus US dollar for the initial registration of that domain name because it was a Black Friday sale, and then November last year, I paid around 13 US dollars for the renewal of the domain name plus some fees for the hosting of the website. So in all, I paid 14.22 US dollars, which I eventually sold into 2000 US dollars. So before we continue, if you haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button below and also click that notification bell so that you'll be notified with my next videos, and also so that I'll be even more motivated in creating videos like this. So if you're ready, let's go. So you may not or may already know about selling domain names, but anyway, here's a simple introduction of how to make money selling domain names. So first, you'll have to register a domain name. So for a .com domain, that's 9 US dollars. And as a start, I would recommend a .com domain because it's easier to market and sell. Second is you have to sell the domain name. So there are people or companies who are starting their own businesses and they're looking for a brand name or for a domain name that they can use for their website or brand. And if they can see your domain and they like it, then they'll have to buy that domain from you. So that's how you make money selling domain names. So it sounds easy, right? But, so there's a but. It's easier said than done. So I wouldn't guarantee that you can sell your domain, especially if you're new and if you don't know the market, but I guarantee that you can earn big profit here if you know what you're doing. So now here's a step-by-step process on how you can make money selling domain names. The first step is to learn domaining. So first of all, what is a domain name? So a domain name or a domain is the name of the website. For example, we have youtube.com, we have google.com, we have facebook.com, we have wikipedia.org. So these are just examples of domain names. And before we continue, let's define some terms that we will use in this topic. First, we have domaining. So domaining is the business of buying or registering domain names and selling them to earn profit. And second one, we have domainers. So domainers are those people who are involved in domaining. So those who buy or who register domain names and sell them to earn profit. So it's very important that you have to study or learn first domaining. Why? Because first, this venture is not free, meaning to say you have to pay for the registration of the domain names that you're going to sell. So for a .com, that's 9 US dollars. So second, the competition is high because there are plenty of domainers out there in the market today. And third is that there are plenty of good names which are listed for sale in the different marketplaces today. So still, that indicates high competition in terms of domain names. So these are the reasons why you need to study first so that you'll know what kind of names that you will register and what kind of names that you can sell. So what I recommend is you visit and study these 5 websites. So first, we have Namepros.com. So Namepros.com is a forum about domaining. So you can explore there. You can learn from the different experiences of the different users. There's a thread there for the daily domain name registrations being done by the different users. There's a thread also for reported completed sales. So users who have sold their domains posted in that thread. So you can check on that one. All of the links that I will be mentioning here are listed in the description below. So second one is you can follow DomainSherpa.com. So it's a website which has interviews of the different domainers who have sold high-value domains. So you can learn from their experiences also. And third, if you want to check the daily reports on the domain sales, you can go to namebio.com. So there's a page there which reports the daily sales in terms of domain names being sold in the market. And the fourth one is DNJournal.com. So it's also a website which reports the completed sales and high-value domains which are sold in the market. And lastly, I will also recommend that you can follow ricksblog.com. So it's the blog of the domain king Rick, so you can follow and learn from him. So that's the first step, guys. It's important that you learn what domaining is, so you'll know what kind of names that you can register and what kind of names that you can actually sell. So after studying what domaining is and learning what kind of names you can sell, it's time for our next step, which is to register the domain name. So you can register a domain name in a domain name registrar. So there are plenty of domain name registrars in the market today. So what I usually use are Namesilo.com, Dynadot.com, Porkbun.com, Namecheap.com. The .com registration for these registrars usually costs around $9. Beware of those which are more expensive. You can always go to these registrars, and I have the link in the description below of this video. And please note that the $9 registration runs for 1 year, meaning to say you own that domain for that year. And if you haven't sold that domain after 1 year and you still want to keep it, you have to pay the renewal price of that domain. So another $9 so that you still can own it for the next year. So here, I'll give you an example of how you can register a domain name in the Namesilo. So here in the Namesilo site, you can see the search box. You can search here. For example, I can register this domain.com and search. So you can see here that the domain is available to register, and here you can see the price. So you can just add it to the cart and pay that one. So you have to create an account, and if after you have purchased that domain, you can log into your account and go to domain manager, and you can see there your domains and the expiration date, so that you'll know when to renew that one if you haven't sold this domain for 1 year. So that's it on how you can register a domain name. By the way, you can also check promos and discounts, especially for first-time registrants. And also during Black Friday and Cyber Monday in the US, you can also purchase cheaper price for domain names, because the different registrars usually run their promos and discounts during that time. So that's around later part of November each year. So I usually purchase domains during that time because it's cheaper, and there are plenty of promos for renewal of domains and first-time registration of domains. So that's it for our second step. So after you have registered the domain name that you're going to sell, the next step is to list down that domain in the different domain name marketplaces. So some of the marketplaces I have used are Sedo.com, Done.com, or formerly Undeveloped.com. We have Afternic.com, Flippa.com. I have listed all the links of the different marketplaces in the description below this video. You can check on that one. And also you need to create an account on those marketplaces and add your domain for sale on that marketplace. And you can set like a bin price or a buy it now price for that domain, or a make offer. If you set a bin price, whenever a buyer sees your domain and wants to purchase it, then the buyer can just buy it using that bin price. Or if you set it to make offer, then the buyer will have to give an offer to you, and so you can counter offer, and then you can negotiate with the buyer. So that's how it works in the different marketplaces. So here I'll show you my domains listed in Done.com. So we have here Yenses.com. We can see the sales page for Yenses.com. We can see the price here. I have Voker.com. I have Zenduent.com. So you can see here the different sales pages for my domain. So if a buyer comes to this page and wants to buy it, then they can buy it here. So that's how it works in the different domain name marketplaces. Another way of selling a domain name is through email. So I have done this method in the past. In 2017, I have sold robotsecurityguards.com for $250. I haven't been doing this method for a long time now, but this usually works with the product or service type of domains. So for example, the robotsecurityguards.com or some kind of service domain like New York lawyer.com, something like that, or let's say New York actingstudio.com. So what I did is I researched for a product, so robotsecurityguards.com, and I look at the internet if it's free for registration. So I haven't registered it yet. I just check if it's free, and when I saw that it's free, I researched for potential buyers. So those companies or businesses manufacturing or doing the product or service something, so I list them down and check on the contact pages of the websites of those businesses, and then I registered the domain name and I emailed or contacted those businesses. And in case of robotsecurityguards.com, one CEO replied to me and gave me an offer of $250, so I sold it and he paid me through PayPal. So here you can see the proof of the payment in the PayPal. So that's how it works with email marketing of domain names. It's usually good for product or service type of domain names. So the last way of making money selling domain names that I will introduce to you is through selling your domains in Squadhelp. So I have introduced Squadhelp before. It's a naming platform where you can make money through joining naming contests, but they also have their own domain name marketplace. So I have sold 5 domains in Squadhelp for a total earnings of $2,328.35, and currently I have 17 names listed there for sale. So here you can see the names I have listed in Squadhelp. So that's 17 names. And there are 2 ways where you can list your domain in Squadhelp. First is if you own a domain name, meaning to say you registered that domain name and you want to list it to Squadhelp, you can submit that domain name for approval from Squadhelp, and once approved, you can list it in their marketplace. And if that domain is sold, Squadhelp will take a commission of like around 30%. So the other 70% is the one that you will take home for that domain. And another way to list a domain in Squadhelp is if you knew of an available good domain name, you can submit that one for approval from Squadhelp, and if Squadhelp approves that domain, they will register that domain name for you and list it in their marketplace under your name. And if that domain is sold, you will take a commission of around 25 to 40% of the selling price, because it's Squadhelp who registered the domain, so it's smaller compared to a domain that you own. But anyway, you haven't spent anything for that domain, so that's still good, right? So that's how you can earn or make money selling domain names in Squadhelp. So that's it, guys. I hope that you have learned something on how to make money selling domain names. And if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button below, and also punch that notification bell, and also please smash that like button for this video. And until our next video, guys, see you. Bye for now.